And welcome once again to another edition of the Truth Hour. My name is Johnny Guzman. Welcome to Quantum Leap Television. Welcome on this Thursday, the 15th, 2012. Well, today we have a very interesting show for you, friends. Today's topic is Fukushima, an attack on humanity, 9/11 revisited. Did some shenanigans go on in Japan during that tsunami? Well, we're going to bring in our friend from Bolivia, Alex Gutwell, who's of German origin, who is going to give us the inside or the untold story on what went on in this tragedy in Japan. As most of you know, it's about a year and a couple of days, I think it was, that that disaster happened in Japan, where they had the big tsunami, and it was felt all over the Pacific coast, the Pacific area, followed by the explosion of these nuclear plants and all this chaos and contamination that most people just don't know about. And of course, the governments are just keeping it hush. Well, let's bring in our friend Alex Gutwell to say hello to him and to begin this great topic on what he's has in store for us. Alex, welcome to the Truth Hour.
Hi, Johnny. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome, Alex. We selected this topic because most people, knew there was a tsunami. Even down here in South America, in the Pacific coast, there was some scare because of the, we were thinking that we were also going to get somewhat of a small tsunami. So there was a lot of scare about that. But most of the people didn't pay much attention to that, and didn't even pay attention to the radiation. All the stuff that was leaked into the ocean. And as always, people just forget about things, and nothing ever was said ever again. We knew about this tragedy. There was a couple of news reports, and a month or 2 months later, everything went back to normal, and nothing happened. So we decided, being that it's about a year and a couple of days now that this tragedy happened in Fukushima, was this an attack on humanity, Alex? Was this created somewhat like the 9/11 disaster back in 2001? I mean, if people believe that 9/11 was caused by terrorism, then they need to be hit upside the head, because that is just nonsense. There's so much evidence that a young child could see this and say this was an inside job. It's just impossible. I mean, it's just the simple fact that Silverstein, the guy who owned the lease and the properties in the World Trade Center, admittedly openly in television, and said that we decided to demolish the Tower 7 and all the other buildings because they were just too damaged. So who's going to believe that when most people know that in order to demolition a building, you need months of preparation. You just don't go in a couple hours, especially in the middle of that chaos when the towers came down, and expect us to believe that they went in, put some explosive and demolished the other buildings. But just that little fact there, and well, obviously, I think you mentioned that last time we spoke, that he took out a lease a couple of months or weeks before the supposedly attacks. He took out an insurance in case of terrorist attacks on the towers. So I mean, it's very crazy. But was something similar? Did something similar like this happen in Japan, Alex?
Well, it looks to me it's like an onion. This whole thing. I mean, there's layers upon layers, and it's even more difficult to get into it emotionally, because if you talk about the background, that might be the real reason, or a bunch of real reasons, then other people come in, like anti nuclear power activists, and they say, okay, you only want to distract the attention of people and media from the corruption of this nuclear industry in Japan. So the thing is, I don't deny the corruption in the nuclear industry in Japan. I would just say it was sort of used to cover up the real thing going on in the background. And this is what I would like to point out tonight, because as with the World Trade Center you just mentioned, you don't get the whole picture if you don't dare to look at that. And it's really awful if you start looking at this, because it's causing way more suffering than the World Trade Center destruction did. I mean, that already killed some thousands of people directly, and then it was also, that's why we call this show 9/11 Revisited, because there are strong hints that the method was quite similar. I mean, it's said that the World Trade Center was destroyed by mini nukes, and they entered them in the elevator area, and they had a complete renovation, revision of the elevator thing close to the 9/11 date. And it was a similar thing going on in Fukushima, where they had installed huge cameras which look like nuclear weapons from the gun type. And well, and there's pictures that are not shown in the media of the completely destroyed building 3 of Fukushima. And it's been said so many times in the media that they had these hydrogen explosions, and these explosions destroyed the concrete walls of the reactors, which scientists say it's not possible. It's the same thing with